Hey YouTube, this is Mr. Goobly of Goobly Gaming, and today we're doing something a little different. I've got a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for you guys today. My Toon deck. If this is something you like, I've got other decks. I've got a Red Eyes deck. Some other buddies of mine got a few other decks. We could do some Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff. So please let us comment down below. And if we get enough people down there in the comment section, we might give away a Toon Kingdom or Anywho, the reason we're doing this is that new Toon Chaos set that was announced that's coming out in June. I'm very excited for it, and I'm sure a lot of other Toon duelists are very excited and on the edge of their seats waiting for this because the deck is in desperate need of some good support. Protection for Toon Kingdom or something to get the deck to get moving a little quicker. Anyway, the deck itself, actually, they're pretty pricey, and the deck comes to about, on the cheaper end, $100. So it's not really the cheapest deck, but it's really just those short prints of like Toon Kingdom that really kind of upset that price. But who knows? Toon Kingdom might get a common reprint in Toon Chaos, so who knows? I'm going to show the prices which each card I show. And I'm grabbing those prices from tcgplayer.com. This isn't a sponsorship or anything. It's just a pretty good database for prices and stuff like that. So, without further ado, let's get right into this deck. So first off, we've got the Blue Eyes Toon Dragon, a classic. It cannot be normal summoned. It's one of the older toons that you can special summon it by tributing. For this one, you tribute 2 monsters, but this isn't really something you want to do. This is mainly a target for the Red Eyes Toon Dragon. This one and Toon Dark Magician Girl can combo pretty well with Toon Red Eyes in a pinch when you're bricking, because they don't specifically say that they need Toon World on the field to attack. So this mostly works with Toon Dark Magician Girl, but if you don't have Toon Kingdom and you get Toon Red Eyes in the field, you can activate Toon Red Eyes effect, special summon out Toon Dark Magician Girl, and you could swing in right away. I mean, she doesn't have the protection of Toon Kingdom, obviously, if Toon Kingdom or World isn't on the field, but hey, you've got options. The whole Toon deck has a lot of options like that. And speaking of which, we've got Red Eyes Toon Dragon. I'm going to have 2 of these in the deck. You don't really need 3 because you're mostly going to target this guy out with the Blackstone Legend, which you'll see later on. But this card is the bread and butter of the deck. It is going to pull out anything that you want from your hand. Your main targets would probably be Toon Dark Magician. You'll see him. The Toon Dark Magician Girl and Toon Blue Eyes, if need be. They just combo off each other pretty well. So, of course, next we've got 3 of the Toon Dark Magician. Pretty much the same kind of thing as Red Eyes, but just a little better. I mean, this is one of those cards that are really powerful that I was talking about. I mean, this effect is insane. If you discard any Toon card, you can either special summon a Toon monster straight from the deck, or you can add 1 Toon spell or trap from the deck, and mainly those 2 targets are going to be Toon Briefcase or, of course, Toon Kingdom if you haven't gotten that out in the field yet. Other than that, the special summons, Toon Dark Magician Girl, maybe another Toon Red Eyes. Depends on where you're at in the game. This is the card that you want to get out as soon as possible. So, you Blackstone a Legend, you get out your Red Eyes Toon Dragon, and then you go right into Toon Dark Magician, and then from there he can get whatever else you need out into the field. It could be fun. Next up, I got Toon Dark Magician Girl. I've only got 1 in here, but this is a good target because she can attack the moment she's out in the field. She is the only one that doesn't have that summoning sickness. She also has that older Toon effect of special summoning by tributing a card, but mainly you're going to want to target this one out with, Red Eyes Toon Dragon or Toon Dark Magician. So, all right, so next I've got 2 Toon Cyber Dragons, pretty much as good as the original Cyber Dragon. It special summons from the hand when your opponent has a monster and you control no monsters. So, You're mainly going to use this to try and get into Infinity. It's a shame because now that Instant Fusion's down to 1, it's not going to be as quick. But that was Infinity is great for your protection for Toon Kingdom and Toon Cyber Dragon. You know, helps you get that out quicker. Next, we got a couple of generic tunes that are low level. So we got Toon Gemini Elf. She's a level 4. You can just normal summon, attack directly. You know, all the normal Toon stuff. But its little special effect is that when it does damage to your opponent, they have to discard a card, and that's always good. Card advantage is always good. So next, I have 2 Toon Mass Sorcerers. You know, this also has kind of a card advantage type of effect. If it does damage, you get to draw a card for each time it does damage. So, you know, if you have more than one, it's not once per turn. And it's just a good effect. And then last of the Toon monsters, I've got 3 Toon Mermaids. This was something I adjusted in there after Instant Fusion was hit because you can get into Totally Awesome with this, and that's, you know, more protection for the kingdom. You always want to protect that Toon Kingdom. So next, I have 3 Black Stones of Legend. So as I was saying, this is that one that's going to get out that Red Eyes Toon Dragon. You want to target him, get him out as soon as you can, and then start going into all your plays. So, and then last of the monsters, I've got 1 Eater of Millions. This is a really good card currently with this deck because there's a lot of banishing face down with Toon Kingdoms doing that. You know, you're going to throw in a Pot of Desires, so there's going to be a lot of banishing, and Eater of Millions, you know, easy special summon, and it just can get rid of stuff that you just, you know, is in your way. So I'm going to put 1 of those in there. Next, we're going to put in 3 of the Toon Kingdoms. You got to have 3. This is how the deck runs. It protects your tunes. You banish to activate it. You banish 3 cards to activate it. And it does everything for you. You banish a card if your monster's about to get popped, whether it's by card effect or by battle. So it's really going to help you out. The only problem is it has no protection for itself. So when this card gets popped, a lot of the 2 monsters just blow up because a lot of them still have the effect of when Toon World's gone, the 2 monsters go with it. So next, we're going to put in 3 Toon Table of Contents. Just a great card. It's just, you know, search a different Toon card right from the deck. So you're going to want 3 of those. Next, I've got 2 Comic Hands. This is a great card because it's basically a snatch steal. The only problem I have with it is that it doesn't have Toon in the name, so it doesn't really help you out with Toon Dark Magician. You can't pop it for another Toon card, and you can't search it. So because of the fact that it doesn't have Toon, it really doesn't help you out there. But, you know, taking an opponent's monster, turning it into a Toon, that's just fun. So, and it's a fun deck. Next, I've got 2 Allure of Darkness. You got a lot of dark monsters in there, so might as well. And then I'm going to put in 1 Mimicat, another good card, another Toon card that doesn't have Toon anywhere in the name. So, again, doesn't help you with Toon Dark Magician. Doesn't can't search it out. But what it does is interesting. You can grab anything from your opponent's graveyard with its effect. You can grab either a spell or trap and set it on your side of the field, or a monster and just special summon it. So it's real fun. As I said, there's a lot of powerful cards in the Toon archetype, but just running this deck, pretty tough. Next, I got 1 1-for-1. That's just gonna, you know, target your Blackstone of Legend, get that out quicker. At 1 Pot of Desires, banish 10, draw 2. A lot of people don't really like this card, but when you need that draw 2, I mean, card advantage is card advantage. You never would have seen those 10 cards anyway. It's just you just got to run it. Got 1 Monster Reborn, generic good card. Target your tunes, get them out, get them back right out of the graveyard. 1 instant fusion. Main target, you're going to grab Panzer Dragon with that and Cyber Dragon, go right into infinity. Or you also got Millennium-Eyes Restrict, Thousand-Eyes Restrict. You can target those. You know, do all sorts of fun plays with those. And last of the spells, we've got 1 Terraforming, because you really want to get out that Toon Kingdom. It's why one of your main targets out first is going to be Toon Dark Magician, because you really need to get that Kingdom. Without Kingdom on the field, the deck doesn't play. Next, I've got Toon Briefcase. Really good card. Doesn't target monsters and sends them right back to the deck. And all you need for condition is to have a Toon monster on the field. So it's not Toon monster and Toon World. So really, really good card. Next, we've got 1 Metaverse. You know, ever since they cut down Terraforming down to 1, this has been a really good card. But the other cool thing about this is that you can activate the card with this card. So when you activate Toon Kingdom, normally you have to banish 3, but if you activate it with Metaverse, you do not have to banish 3. So just something to think about and something to know. You know your rulings when you are playing your deck. You know, and have them on hand, because that's one of them that you might just overlook, and then you end up banishing 3 that you didn't need to. And lastly, we got 1 Solemn Judgment, just a good generic stop anything card, because you don't want your Toon Kingdom blowing up, and you don't want things stopping you. So, good card. And, you know, you could switch in and out with this card with some cards from your side deck, depending on what you're playing. All right, and then now we're going to go into the extra deck. Going to start it right off with Totally Awesome. Great card. It helps you negate stuff. And with the next card, Bahamut Shark, you can go right into it from your Toon Mermaids. Then from that, go right into Totally Awesome. And the great thing with Toon Mermaid is that they can just special time themselves for nothing, other than having Toon World on the field. It's so easy to get Totally Awesome out, you know, when you have everything in the right place. Next, we have number 82, Heartland Draco. It's basically a Toon. Yeah, basically a Toon. Next, you have Cyber Dragon Nova, and then from that, straight into Cyber Dragon Infinity. This card, great card, helps you negate. You can pop monsters and just take it and put it in as material. It's still just a really good card, and when you have access to, you know, Toon Cyber Dragon, you might as well go into this card, and it really helps you protect your Toon Kingdom. Next, we have number 11, Big Eye, generic, rank 7, you know, just take your opponent's monster. And following that, we have Mecha Phantom Beast Dracossack, another great generic rank 7 monster. And another good rank 7 generic monster. This is a Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. And all of these you will pull out, obviously, with your Toon Dark Magician and your Red Eyes Toon Dragon. Next, we have Panzer Dragon. This is going to be your instant fusion target to get out Cyber Dragon Infinity. You target this, use this with Toon Cyber Dragon. You can go right into Nova and right into Infinity. All right, next we have Chimeratech Megafleet Dragon. This is a good one that you can get into with Toon Cyber Dragon. Basically, it doesn't need polymerization, and you can just target monsters in your opponent's extra monster zone. With Master Rule 5, this actually, you don't really need it as much, but when people are playing Link monsters, they still got to go into the extra monster zone, so this could be still good removal, you know, to get rid of those Link monsters. Next, we have Thousand Eyes Restrict, you know, good classic old card, but, you know, you're targeting it with instant fusion, target one of your opponent's monsters, eat it, and it gets destroyed, or you go into Relinquished Anima or Linkaribo, and, you know, it just eats up monsters. Next, we have Millennium-Eyes Restrict. It's going to help you get rid of hand traps. It's a little on the expensive side, but this is getting a reprint pretty soon with that Legendary Duelist Season 1 set coming out. So look out for that and try to pick up one, because it is a good card. 1 Relinquished Anima, good card. You're going to pull this out with Thousand Eyes Restrict or Millennium-Eyes Restrict, or even Blackstone Legend, because it just needs 1 level 1 monster. And it's just more removal from the opponent's side of the field. So then we've got Barricade Board Blocker. This just can help you get back Toon Kingdom, because it can just get field cards from out of the graveyard. It can really help you out in a pinch. And lastly, I'm just throwing in Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. Really good. You have your level 7s. You can get into this pretty easily. But he is very expensive right now, so I don't fully recommend if you're trying to, make a more of a budget Toon deck. So, and that's it for the extra deck. Yeah, so Toon's really, really powerful cards. Really fun deck to play, but it is in desperate need of support, and we've got that support coming with Toon Chaos. So we'll see what kind of cards we get. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited too. Again, like, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys like this video. Please comment down below what you think of this profile. And hey, give me some tidbits. I want to know what you guys think of this deck profile. If you guys have some better suggestions, I'm all for it, especially with Toon Chaos on the way, because I'm sure this deck is going to be very different in the coming months. So, again, yeah, thank you. I've been... Oh. What the fuck is that? What the fuck?